This video is going to show you solo Grandmaster Nightfall and how to easily farm the double loot week and the double points. You better get that cooker on because you're cooking Cabal Fi pork chops. Get cooker going because it's a cooking week. If you have not been playing Destiny 2 recently and you need some endgame materials or exotic engrams, etc., or Ascendant Shards, golf balls, whatever, this is the week for you to get cooker on. BBQ, air fryer, oven, halogen heater, top stove. You know, the stationary ones that you put in your kitchen, right? We could talk about, this could turn into a cooking video if you want, because we're literally just cooking Cabal up. Now, when you cook the Vex, there is the Vex milk to consider, and I recommend you save that to 1 glass and use that to make like a cheesecake type deal, Vex cheesecake type deal. And that's sort of how you go forward with this, right? We have the Blessing of Blades buff on the left hand side with infinite ammo to 1k voices. This was posted 2 days ago by the Legends, but I wasn't on at reset and I wasn't aware of this at the time of reset. And I haven't been playing since reset just because I've been busy. But I would have liked to. It's just that I've been busy, that's all. But I'm not busy tonight. So I'm having a go with this loadout and showing you the enemy spawns in Inside Terminus. Because it's Inside Terminus. The first Grandmaster Nightfall ever created, by the way. Ever created. Which, it's actually... When I think about Inside Terminus, I actually have fond memories of it. I actually think this is a very good strike. Compared to the strikes we get nowadays... Man, this is actually a fantastic strike, actually. So, capping the point. If you want to cap the point in one go, you need to get on that plate right ASAP and spam 1k voices. This is obviously a 1k voices run. Don't worry, it won't be the only GM run that we do. But this is the Kuchen one. This is the air fryer GM solo halogen heater 1k voice tofu Kuchen Cabal run. Yeah, double unstop here, which you're gonna see how good 1k voices is at stopping unstoppables. By the way, there's no unstoppable heavy fusion. There's no unstoppable in 1k right now because of the scorch stacks. When there's an ignition, you get a stun. Yes, we all know this. Well, we should do with the champ rework. The problem with it is nobody uses 1k voice because it hasn't got the ammo to do it. It's highly wasteful. In my opinion, they need to double its ammo reserve. Yeah, that's going to sound freaky. It's 11 now, right? I think it should hold 20. Put it to 20 and I guarantee you people will start using it properly, officially. Will start using it. And don't nerf its damage as a account of its ammo buff, as its ammo buff that I'm suggesting. Alright, don't do that either. Buff its ammo to 20, people will start to use this weapon in GMs, and it'll get more use in raids as well. Because it's not the highest DPS in the game, but it's got actually good DPS nowadays. I've seen some videos since it's buff, and there's some DPS rotations with 1k. I've actually seen videos of such things. But I'm just saying double its ammo capacity. This week highlights how good the weapon could be, but just has never been that good. Only when it was launched, when it first launched, and when it was bugged on PC, and when particle deconstruction was in the game. Yeah. So that phase you just saw, I'm just melting the odds with obviously with 1k. The champ. Now we have a radiant melee. I'm on a Solar Dawn Chorus Warlock, which improves Scorch, which I just talked about Scorch a little bit there. On this phase here, you want to do some damage to this portal. But it is an RNG element whether you get that champ at that portal or not. Don't worry about it if you don't. Just kill some adds and move to the back island. I didn't need to move to the back island, but I recommend that you do if that champ does not spawn from that portal. Because he either spawns from that portal or the top portal. 50-50% chance, right? But the unstoppable champ spawns in middle. Now here's where it's different. Unstoppable champions spawn barriers, but a barrier does not spawn an unstoppable. It doesn't matter. So what I'm saying to you is this. Kill the unstartable champion last. If you don't, you will get ambushed. Literally. You will get a two-pronged attack. Front, back. See those ads? See the champ that just come out of the portal there? That is dictated. That spawn in particular is dictated by the unstartable that I killed last. So, you know, there's some geniuses out there. I ask you, why did I kill the unstartable last? It's obvious. Because the rest of the ads that had spawned are now dead and there's no threat behind me. There's no ambush potential. I'm not getting cooked. The Cabal are getting cooked, as you can see here. That's an air fry champ. Have you ever tried air frying a champion figurine in an air fryer? Well, that's literally simulating it to you what it's like. So this phase, when this opens up, you can try and put some chip damage in with 1k, but you're not going to be that successful because 1k Voices has damage fall off. Or not damage fall off, well, yeah it does, but range fall off. It's not effective outside of, I would like to say, 34.5 meters. But within that 30 meter range, it is deadly. But notice how many melees we're getting. This is because of Dawn Chorus, by the way, which has been an intrinsic secondary perk to the helmet for so long. You get melee energy back when you scorch. We're scorching all the time, which means we have barrier rounds on 1k voice uptime for every champ we take most of the time. But if we don't, we have a barrier pulse rifle to take care of that. A over one, actually, a Stay Frosty from last Christmas event. I've kept it. Yes, I do those things. And by the way, this pulse rifle is actually really good at melting barrier champs. But the game's not in the state of barrier weapons anymore. We used to be. We used to be in an adaptive munitions meta, and it was good. Remember the videos I made about it? About the baby Wish Ender and all that, the scout rifle, the scout rifle / arbalist with Witch Queen, and how shields were so important in Witch Queen and before Witch Queen. Yeah, we're not in a shield meta anymore. Shields don't matter. So adaptive munitions under over is also like adaptive munitions. They don't matter to D2 sandbox because they have made shields irrelevant. They may as well take shields and remove them out of the game or buff them. I'm calling for them to buff shields. Yes, we need to go back to match game days. We definitely do. We are too OP. That's not gonna move the dial that much, but it's gonna make you think a little bit more in GMs. It's like, all right, I need a void weapon for this GM Nightfall. Oh, I need an arc weapon, and that makes you as a player inspect your vault. And that is a key part of the game, going to the tower and looking in your vault and thinking, oh, Horror's Leash will wreck this week. Oh, because it's Arc Burn. Horror's Leash will wreck this week. There's a load of Arc Shields. Whatever GM you're doing, oh, I'll use this gun. And then you start to find hidden gems within metas of Nightfalls. This part of the game that I'm telling you is lost to the Matrix. I'm saying they need to bring it back. They definitely need to bring it back for technical players who like to challenge themselves in Grandmaster Nightfalls. It's one step in the right direction. I'm not saying that we need to go to the OG match game, but they need to do something. Or remove shields entirely and let's incorporate some other mechanic on minor enemies, whether it be invis, more invis type enemies, or stuff like that. We've already got that in the game, but let's make it a permanent mod, okay, in Grandmasters where you got subtle foes and or enemies scorch you faster. Those mods are in the Nightfall playlist. They don't get used. They're in the lower end strikes. They're not in Grandmaster Nightfalls. I'm saying let's those mods you created, Bungie. Hey, you can put them in Grandmaster Nightfalls. It's okay, you know, they've been out 5 years. You know, maybe think about all those mods you made, all those very good mods that you made when Lost Sectors first came out with Mercury DLC in 2017. Some amazing mods where your jump height is increased, melee damage increased, but this is decreased. And there's all sorts of mods. I might make a video about it one day, about every single D2 modifier in the game, but is not used. Because they could literally, look at that. I could do it for them. I could go in budget years, right, write down all the mods on the bit of paper, right, that's it. Oh, see this mod? This hero mod or whatever it's called? Right, I want that on GM Nightfalls. Let's try it. If it doesn't work, so what? Employ me. I'll do it. I can be the modified person for this. I look at the list. Let's look at down the list. Right, let's get these boring old mods off. Let's look at what we've got. And that is a step in the direction for a new sort of era of Nightfalls. And they need to look at that for when we're going to the new expansion. It needs to happen. So we're getting to the boss fight. We are literally just, as I say, going melting these ads with 1k around the corners in caves. Let's do the 2018 strat for extra points, because we need our pinnacle like we did in 2018. We need extra primes. Kill the Hydra, you get more points. You'll hit your 100k limit and you'll get your reward. Because if you don't hit 100k, you don't get your reward. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Points don't matter in 2024, right? Oh, forgot about that. Sorry, viewer. Cap plate 1. Right, we could pop a rift, not right away, but you know, within a few seconds. You don't want to pop the rift too soon because it'll end by the time you need it. So pop it a little later and then spam 1k voice mid, left, right, then swap to sidearm, because 1k voice, there's a critical chance of you dying to a dog being right in your vision. Yeah, right in your vision, and you die. Remember, your biggest enemy is you in this, not the Cabal. Because they're getting air fried. Which, by the way, I recommend you get an air fryer. They will change your life. You need to get an air fryer. That's your next tip. So my next video is gonna be all about air fryers and ninjas versus Kenwoods and stuff like this. Because that's what I really care about. I don't really care about exactly what's going on in this vid. I care about air frying and stuff, especially Cabal. So there's a good place to DPS, which I've used this with Inside Terminus for a long time. It's on that block. It's on the block I just stood on. The reason for that is because the boss's void attack will not reach the back end of that block. See, I'm an environmental specialist, if you didn't know, in D2. And there's these little... See the void blast? Did you see it? Replay it and you will see the void blast does not reach the back side of that brick wall. Which means, hey, you could pop a well on there. Boom. Just go to time. You can pop a super. You can pop a Song of Flame, a Dawn Chorus, Daybreak, whatever you're doing, and you can melt for a little bit. But you don't want to overcommit. Never overcommit, because there's going to be a lot of nades. There's a modifier, Scorched Earth, which actually is a good mod. Talking about mods, where enemies throw more grenades than usual. You're going to get spammed with 3 to 4 solar grenades, which will kill you on this difficulty. Like 4 nades is a lot. Just jump off and then rinse and repeat. Do a little map rotation, then go back on your DPS concrete wall location. Alright, and that's to do a legit GM. If this was a legit run, I would almost certainly use that DPS location that I told you. It's the best place to stand for damage if you're doing just straight out, flat out damage to the boss, range damage that is. So get your 3 teammates to stand there. Maybe not all 3 of you, because it could be a team wipe if all 3 of you stand and there's too many nades and you're in a GM. So maybe never do that. Always go maybe 2 and then 1 on another location if you're doing this in a team run. But now to explain the plate cap, because I didn't cap the plates quickly to show you, the viewer, exactly how to cap these plates easy if you're not doing the 1k voice cheese. Right? Now, the way to do it is send the boss, right? There'll be one more wave, but that's fine because that's slightly delayed the gladiators. The gladiators and dogs will spawn, but because we've spawned the last wave of legionnaires on the first phase, which by the way the ads are linked to HP, then we had more time to collect this plate. But I actually failed to cap the plate, which by the way, right side plate is the hardest plate to cap. So you need to make that your first plate to cap. because that is your best time to cap it. I'm actually surprised I didn't cap it. You know why I didn't cap it? Because I didn't get lucky enough with my ignitions on the portals, and the gladiators likely spawned on the left-hand side portal and not the right. If more of them spawned out of this portal right here, I would have had a successful plate cap, but it didn't happen. So we done everything right, but the game didn't go exactly to plan. But we had a super. Right, I'm just on this, by the way. I'm not on Song of Flame. I'm on this one just because I'm using Dawn Chorus. But honestly, I could have used a Song of Flame, but I want to break off Song of Flame a little bit because I've been using it a lot. Now, I'm not suggesting that this class is better than Prismatic Warlock. If you are a struggling player with cap and plates, with almost certainty, you want to be running a turret on Prismatic Warlock. This will make the plates so much more easier. Right? I mean, they're easy enough as they are now. Right? I'm just showing you some old school strats on how to cap the plates if you didn't have a stasis turret. Right? Because I believe people are starting to get tired of playing with stasis turrets. So this week they might be on something else. But at the same time, it's meta, so people might just be on that anyways. But if you say you're on a Titan solo, then this is how you do it. You lure the adds to the right. We've been hiding. We lure the adds all the way to the right, and then we run to left. Because these legionnaires are slow. Look. So now they're starting to attack me on the left-hand side. By the time they start to attack me, I kill them. Then when we step on plate, the dogs and the gladiators will spawn. But by the time they spawn, I will have capped the plate. This is how the old school way that we done inside Terminus to solo it. There's many other different strats as well, but I'm just saying that lure strat of baiting them at right hand side with a ninja air fryer and then going to left hand side, yeah, I can then fry them on left and they're coming to mid. Whereas if you try and cap plate on left and the adds are on left, you give yourself less time. This is obviously common sense. But it's a strat that you wouldn't think of in your day-to-day of play. But there's these little things that you can do. Luring the adds to right like that. And you can do it from mid as well. So the order of the plates that you should collect is right, left, middle. If you've got a turret, it doesn't matter because you're going to freeze and give yourself way more time. Which, by the way, back in the day, we used to use suppression, war mind, cells to collect these plates. That's the sandbox we was in. Imagine that. But I think that was a lot cooler than maybe a turret. Maybe that it's not cooler, but it's... We look back at stuff fondly when we haven't got it. Do you know what I mean? So war mind cells aren't in the game now. We look at them fondly because we don't have access to them. It is a shame. There's no reason why they had to sunset them. I don't know why they had to. They could have fit into the upgraded D2 builds. No problem at all. If anything, it would have added an extra layer to the combat. It would have got us off charge with light builds. It would have got us off surge builds maybe a little bit. And maybe, you know, start to think about other things other than DPS. Maybe a bit more, you know, ad clear based stuff. Other than prismatic, of course. So that's how you cap the plates. You're now then going to be able to be free to DPS the boss. Obviously, if you're on a solo like this, don't overcommit to damage. I know it's a fun thing that we're doing with the infinite 1k voices, but you still can't die. 1k voices isn't going to give you some sort of invincible aura where you don't die, even though it is like a heavyweight Nightfall from years gone by. Just be sensible. Don't overcommit to damage. You can overcommit to damage if you're in a Roman Super or it's a well. Although I don't know how much you can survive in a well these days, if I'm saying that. I don't know. But Song of Flame Roman Super, you can survive a lot. In a well, I don't know how many nades you could tank, because no one plays well nowadays. Not on a solo GM. It's just not worth to use a buff like that when you're solo, when you have access to so many great supers in the game. So yeah, that's the solo for this GM. There'll be a loadout at the end, right, of that. But I ain't giving up my checkpoint for nobody. You can come and try and rob it off me, and I'll just say, nope, I'm not giving you the CP. I am keeping the inside terminus CP. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.